One of our favorite segments last week, Kyle King, national championship quarterback at Mary Hardin Baylor, was on his way to the Manning camp and in Thibodaux, and he's back. It's over, and he joins us now to discuss his experience on Sikkim 365 Radio. Kyle, thanks for your time back, settled in. Can you try to describe what you enjoyed and just the experience itself?
Yeah, what an experience, first of all. Wow, it went by fast. It was 3 full days of football. I mean, Harley had an hour off, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Truly an amazing experience. Got to meet some great people. Got to network with some people that I normally wouldn't have an opportunity to talk to. Just overall, man, Mannings, they're just great people. They're down-to-earth people. They would sit and have dinner with you, and, you know, you talk to them like you talk to your friends. It's no different. So it was truly amazing.
What was the biggest thing you learned, or maybe the biggest piece of new information you might have learned that you didn't think you would going in?
You know, it's really not even the football side, I think. It's more of just how the guys treated me. I learned that, you know, the Division I guys, they don't really look down on the D3 guys. You know, when I got there, we all introduced ourselves, and, you know, I had about pretty much all of them would tell me, hey, ball is ball. If you can play, you can play. It doesn't matter where you are. And, you know, I went out, we threw the ball, and they told me, they're like, yeah, man, you're the real deal, you know. So I was just pleasantly surprised of how accepting they were and how just down to earth all the guys were, from Alabama quarterback all the way down. Stetson Bennett, I mean, we became good friends, and it was awesome, man.
Well, you should, because both of you won national championships, right?
Right, and we rubbed it in a little bit, let everybody else know, you know.
That's awesome. What was it, anything in particular, you picked the brain of those who were there, the Mannings, et cetera, anything that they said that stood out to you most?
The one thing that I say I would improved on is probably my under center game, because we did a bunch of workouts with the Mannings, and pretty much everything we did was under center, which was new for me. I appreciated it, though, because I might have to know it one day. And even if not, I'm going to be a coach. So it's always good to have that little extra knowledge. Peyton and Eli walked us through kind of how they watch film, and that was a big eye-opener for me. So that, and then how they do their throwing, like, sessions, how they set up their throwing sessions and what routes and how many routes a day, and against cover 1, cover 2, cover 4, like a hot route, how they handle all that. So it was really information overload. I got a lot of it written down. So, I mean, just really a lot of information to take in, but it was also wonderful.
Kyle, I want you to go back to your coaches at UMHB and say, listen, I learned this cool new trick play. It's where I go under center.
I don't know if I'd be the starter anymore if I did that.
That's great.
Kyle, kind of sounds like football Christmas.
It was, and it was so cool. I've never been around that many guys at one time that understand all the terminology. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very rare you can have a conversation with a normal person and talking about coverages and formations and shifts and how we call plays and it was so refreshing to not have to kind of explain anything. They just already knew everything. That was a cool part of it.
I think you arrived there. I don't know if it was Wednesday night. They started Thursday. It was also basically the same time that the nephew, Arch Manning, was making his commitment to Texas. How much of that was brought up during the camp, and how much a discussion about his commitment?
Well, Arch actually came to the camp. The day after he committed, he was at the camp. And, you know, as far as the college quarterbacks go, we just, you know, we were talking about if we were surprised or not. And it really wasn't as big of a deal as I expected it to be. The Mannings didn't say anything about it. Well, they did say Cooper did congratulate him, you know, and you know, they're proud of him, and they should be. I mean, he's the number 1 player in the nation right now coming out of high school. So, yeah, there was some buzz about that. People were surprised. I don't think a lot of us expected him to go to Texas, but, you know, good for him. Good for him. I hope he does well there.
You didn't try to interject there and get a little crew love going on? Like, hey, I know UT's a big deal, man, but hey, we win championships down here in Belton. You know.
I tried. I don't think we could scrape enough NIL money up for him.
Right. I understand. So yeah. What was your favorite part just in terms of like the hanging out process? Was there anything interesting that you guys did, or was it pretty much just all football all the time?
No, man. Every night we had a wonderful time. Just all kinds of things that we did. And then the number one thing that stuck out, we went and had dinner Saturday night. We had to go to a formal, and then we'd go to a little after party thing, and it was a good time. Mm-hmm. But during the formal, we'd eat dinner, and it was like me, quarterback, and Sam, the Wake Forest quarterback, and there was one more guy there. Miles, the LSU quarterback. We're eating dinner, and we have 2 available seats at our table, and everybody's kind of finishing up. Well, the Manning Peyton and Eli got there kind of late. Well, they came and sat with us, and they ate dinner with us. And, I mean, we talked like we were just friends. We'd ask them questions and just stories, not even football-related stuff. We just talked about stuff. And, man, they let me tell my stories. They listened, and they laughed, and they told their stories. And, man, it was really like you were best friends with them. And that was the coolest part about it. They really made it feel like that. They call you by first name. They knew your name. Just it was super cool.
If current Kyle King could have talked to younger Kyle King, I don't know, like a decade ago, and told him, like, hey, you're going to be having dinner with Peyton and Eli and, like, all these – I mean, what would younger Kyle King have thought? And just did you have to kind of pinch yourself a little bit?
Oh, yeah, it was crazy, man. Just sitting there, I was thinking, like, I told Peyton, I was like, hey, like, we're having dinner. We're just finishing up. And I was like, hey, Peyton, by the way, I had a fat head of you in my room. He's like, oh, yeah, how big? He said, how tall was it? I said, it's about normal size. You pretty much went from the base of my floor to my ceiling. So he's a big dude, man. Eli and Peyton are both big. I knew they were big, but they're big.
Yeah, they are. And sometimes Eli, some people don't realize, I mean, made that escape in the first Super Bowl win against the unbeaten Patriots when he was sacked.
Yeah.
It basically should have been.
Yeah.
He pulled away from a couple of dudes and threw the pass to David Tyree.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, and he's talking about those games like we're friends, And Peyton, there's a segment on Twitter. It has Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday kind of getting into it in an argument. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. But anyways, they're getting into the argument on the sideline. We talked to him about that, and he laughed it. He was laughing at it, saying he has seen it, and he explained the whole situation. So just having a little bit of background information on some of these cool things you've seen as a kid and just wondered, getting asked some of those questions and getting some clarity on it, man, it was great.
Did you ask either of them about being on Saturday Night Live?
No, I didn't. I did. We did talk about their Monday Night Football segments and how all that stuff goes, and they really seem to enjoy that. But no, we didn't say nothing about the Saturday Night Live.
Kyle, if you've not seen it, Peyton Manning has one of the top, I'm going to say, and I've seen every episode of Saturday Night Live ever, one of the top 5 SNL sketches of all time in his Peyton Manning United Way thing. You need to look it up on YouTube. It is maybe one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your life. It's top 5 all time.
I'm going to have to give that a Google now. As soon as I hang up this phone, you know where I'm going.
Well, yeah, you should, and that's a great part of the experience of what you learned. Right. You sound like you might have, and I'm not putting words because we talked to you last week. You went in, you're D3, you kind of talked about that, but damn it, you fit there. You deserve that, and it was just apparently an experience that was like no other.
Oh man, it was amazing, and I did. We threw the ball, and it kind of dawned on me. There's 2 or 3 guys there that had elite arms. Throwing the ball 80 yards. The guy from Will from Kentucky, his name's also Will
Levis.
And then the quarterback from Florida, I believe. What's his last name? Richards? I don't know.
Richardson. Yeah.
They have absolute cannons, and their arms stuck out. But other than that, if we didn't know where each other went, nobody would be able to place me at a D3 school. I don't think. As far as arm talent goes, I was there with them. They weren't, you know what I mean? I wasn't just way in the background, you know what I mean? So that was a pleasant surprise, and not really a surprise. I expected it, but I don't know. You're D3, so you have that stigma of they're not any good. And those guys did a great job of just, really showing me some appreciation as well. They all told me it was kind of cool because half of them knew we had won a natty already. So I stood up and, I walked in a room and they're like, what's up, Natty? They'd say, what's up, champ? And I was just like, wow, they must have Googled me or something. But that was great. Just hearing that from a lot of them was awesome.
That's very cool. You mentioned a few minutes ago the advice that you got from, I guess it was Peyton or Eli or both, about the film watching. What was it that you picked up on that maybe is going to help you out moving forward?
Just how many times they watch a play. Little details. Where a lineman, do they line up in if a lineman's in this position, will they bring a will linebacker? If he's in this position, will they bring a Mike lineman? You know what I mean? Just little things like that, which I knew, but they just gave you little tips. Peyton was saying he watched every play 9 times. Wow. And he different. And now he's watching a different thing every 9 times, but 9 times is about what he would do, and it kind of helped him lock in. And they also talked about like when they thought they were ready. So, for instance, when do you stop watching film for the week? When do you say I'm confident? And they gave us some tips on that too, because I think being ghost. So this is what our coaches like to call it. You know, it's a lot of football is reacting. Now you need to know what's coming, kind of pre-snap, but you know, don't overdo it. So they also gave us that advice, which was pretty cool, I thought.
Daniel, on the chat room, there's a McMurray alum, Daniel, that said, can you ask him not to hang 80 on McMurray this year?
Hey, it was only 77 last year. It was only 77.
Do you think in any way, and you have one more year, and hopefully it's another national championship year for what you guys have done, and of course at Mary Hardin-Baylor, that's expected. Do you feel like because of where you were and what you've done, and also another year, that it might allow you to be a little bit more on the radar because of just that networking and those who might pay attention?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely more on the radar now than I've ever been in my life just because of that camp right there. I've had guys, you know, follow me on. I mean, my Instagram followers have went up by like 300. It's just, you know, and it's that stuff doesn't matter to me, but it matters in the networking system. It matters. The more people that can see you, the better opportunity you have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't say that being, you know, conceited or anything, but I'm saying that as in more people know about me right now than they've ever known about me, and good people, scouts and quarterback coaches, and you know, just getting Jordan Palmer. Me and Jordan Palmer became pretty good friends up there, and you know, just that never would have happened before. You know what I mean? So just cool stuff like that really is really what means the most to me out of that camp.
Did anybody do a drill that maybe better than you could do it, and you said, okay, but let's go be a fireman or let's go bale some hay?
Hey, it's funny you said that. Clayton, the University of Houston quarterback, man, we became really good friends. We got a couple float trips. We're going to go down the San Marcos and float the river and stuff.
That's awesome.
But we were going back and forth with each other, and I said, Clayton was talking about how hard he works. You know, I forgot what he said he did, but he's talking about this heat ain't bad. I said, man, come haul some hay with me one day, Clayton. I'll show you some real work.
Yeah, Clayton too. He's a good player too. Down there at U of H, he's got a big year ahead of him. But yeah, that sounds like it. Man, it just sounds like you had such a good time. I mean, you were infectious and a good way to talk to last week before. But I don't know, we can almost feel you sort of smiling through the phone. You had so much fun, and it sounds like for any football player, especially somebody who's playing collegiately and playing quarterback. I mean, I can't imagine a setup where it could have been any better. It sounds like.
I'll say it this way: if you get that invite and you don't go, something's wrong with you. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Kyle, we're really happy for you. We really are. It's great that we could get you on last week. I'm glad when that list came out that I read all the way through because I could have missed it, and I'm glad. It's a great story. There's a guy that tweeted out your interview last week about everything that you've been a part of, not just the national championship, but volunteer fire department, the baling of hay, and all the thing. And you're just a damn good kid. And we wish you the best of luck. Congratulations on the opportunity, the experience. And good luck going forward, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. I had like 20 of my friends that listened to y'all's thing, and they sent me a Snapchat the other day, that day of the interview, because they were listening to it in their trucks on their radio, and they're like, hey, I know this guy.
Hey, you know what? We're going to send out the next segment, and hopefully you can send it to whoever you want. I'll make sure we send you a link, okay? Yes,
sir. That sounds good. I appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Congratulations. Kyle King, Mary Hardin-Baylor, national championship quarterback. By the way, Clayton Tune had a really good camp there as well. That's fun. Man, that's innocent fun. And also a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Kyle King, and also great publicity for Crew Football and Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Yeah, I mean, it was a star-studded affair. I mean, it's the mini camp, so all the best quarterbacks are there. I don't know who would have been the biggest absences, because it sounds like pretty much everybody that matters playing college football, playing quarterback right now in this country it was there, outside of like all the pros. I mean, it's a cool event that's only gotten bigger, and it's awesome that, he was able to take part, and obviously it meant a lot, and I'm glad that he, appreciated it as much as he did, because it's clear to see he's not just blowing smoke. He had a great time, and how could you not, based on the way he described it, if you're a football player and a quarterback sitting there having dinner with the Mannings and picking their brain on watching film and picking up pointers and getting to hang out with, fellow quarterbacks, guys like Anthony Richardson or Spencer Rattler or Clayton Tune or any number of the
Bryce
guys over
Young.
there. Bryce Young. I mean, like I said, all the best were out there. So, yeah, very, very cool opportunity for him.
When we come back, we've